Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is King Steve Arias here for another exciting episode here. Today we had the update now, and I want to go over the patch notes now. Now we went over kind of the operators and things like that. I'll go over a little bit of the same information, but a lot of this, some of the stuff, I was like, "What? Really? This happened?" So we're gonna dive right in here and get right into the news today. So for the patch notes, there was a lot. They said they changed over 80 things. Now I'm not gonna go over everything that they said. A lot of the stuff had to do with maps and some balancing issues with a couple of weapons doing less damage, things like that. This is a game that we played, and we did very well with my teammates and I. We did pretty well. Very happy with what we did, and you're just going to have to watch it and see what happens. So first of all, of course, we have the three operators that got buffed. IQ, you can now see the outlining of gadgets. Tachanka can now I messed up on the first video. He doesn't place down his turret faster. He places it down at the same speed, but you can get out of the turret extremely fast. I have got some really good kills the other day playing with Tachanka, being able to get off that turret super fast and then basically turn on people. It's beautiful and amazing, and you're able to place it in places that you didn't normally used to be able to place it. And then of course Montonia is just like a even bigger shield than it was before. Beautiful. This interested me. Frost no longer has a nitrocell. They got rid of that nitrocell, and for people that are shield users, this is a big relief because Frost was just an absolute monster. She still is. I mean, even without the nitrocell, she's a monster. I ran shield with Frost because I like doing that little trap thing with the shield. Sometimes people forget, and that's great and dandy. That's why I liked using her shield. So this won't really mess with me all that much when I play with her. But I know a lot of people that like that nitrocell, and so I know some people are really not gonna like this change. But I think it was for the better, especially for us shield users. Next we have, of course, I think we talked about this one, Buck and Thermite swapped grenades, right? They no longer, Buck has the grenades and Thermite has stun grenades. They swapped positions. What I didn't know, this is something I had no idea about. I was reading the patch and I was like, really? Buck also has reduced his recoil. I'm assuming that's for his semi-automatic gun, because that semi-auto is redonkulous, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's got tons and tons and tons of recoil. Just absolutely absurd amount. But his shotgun has shorter range, and I think what they're going with here is Buck's shotgun is not designed to kill people. It can kill people. It's a gun, and it can kill people. But that's not the intention. The intention of this weapon is not to kill people. It is simply there to make massive holes to jump through. Destroy things. I think that's pretty cool and awesome. I think that's the reason why they did that. Some people won't be particularly happy with that, I don't think, but it is what it is. Okay. Next thing we are talking about Thatcher. Thatcher's EMP range was reduced. I don't know if that needed to happen. But okay. I get why they did it. It had a ridiculous amount of range. It really did. I'd put it on top of, that's what I would do. I'd put it on top of the roofs, typically, if I wanted to get a lot of them, and it would just take out, everything down below it. So, I don't know how much they reduced. I haven't really used Thatcher since the patch. I'll have to use him and see if it did a lot of damage. I don't know exactly what they were going for. Maybe they decreased it big time. Maybe it's only able to take out 2 things now instead of an entire room, because it literally used to be able to take out an entire room. But we'll have to wait and see about that one. Swap. Okay, so then we have Sledge. Sledge swapped his. Now he no longer has breaching charges, which is ridiculous. Why would you have Sledge with breaching charges? I'm sorry. If you are, okay, you can do that. I just think you're an idiot. No offense. I know. Why would you? Sledge is designed to make holes in the walls. So why would you? Why would you do that? Why would you leave yourself exposed trying to plant one instead of just bashing it open to begin with. I don't know. That maybe that's just me. I don't know. I don't know much about that. So yeah, they took away his breaching charge and they gave you flash grenades. Everyone uses grenades anyways. So why not just give them flash grenades? I think this is a good move. I think this is a beautiful move. Good idea. Now, this one stumps me a little bit, but I think I know what this is about. So recruit FBI shields have heavier armor now. I think the purpose of this one, what I'm thinking about is some of my friends do this. They use the recruit shield when all the shields are gone. And then what they'll do is they'll use the speed with the armor, and they'll get around and stuff. And I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to reduce that speed more than they're trying to reduce the armor. Because people are doing this more and more. I keep seeing this more and more happen where they have these super fast recruit shields, and maybe that's what they're getting at. That's what I'm thinking they're getting at with this, is that they're saying armor, but it's really about the speed, in my opinion. I think they're making it heavier armor so that they have slower speed, basically, is what I'm thinking. Because you get those one speed, shields, man, and those guys travel, man. They go all over the place, bro. It's crazy. Next we have is the product placement cancellation. Of course, I've talked about this in my last video. You are now able to cancel a product if you are placing it down. So, like, if you're a thermite and you didn't realize that the wall next to you had a bandit charge on it, you can now stop that before you place it down. And that way you don't lose anything. It's really cool. I think this will add a new dynamic to the game, so that people aren't dying when they're placing stuff down. I think that'll be great. It'll really add a new diversity. I didn't talk about this one though, and I should have. I knew about this one, but they're changing the size of the red dot sight and the reflex sight. This is interesting, and this is something that's needed to happen, by the way. Everyone has complained about this. The red dot sight is so big, and it's so hard to line up those headshots when they're so big. It's hard to, like, see what we're aiming at or shooting at. And it's the same thing with the reflex sight with the triangle, man. Where do you aim? Do you aim at the tip of the triangle, or do you aim just below? Like that, people have tried to been telling me this for a while now with the reflex sight, and it's like it's just below the tip. That's where you're firing, and it's confusing. But now we have a much better idea with this new smaller red dot, and the red dot sight and the reflex are now way more usable than they ever were before, at least in my opinion. This is the one that really confused me the most, for sure. Now, the flash hinder and the compensator, I didn't even realize this, but they both decrease the recoil. All right. Now they always have. They've always reduced recoil. Now they've made a distinguishing factor between the two. So the flash hinder, what the flash hinder is going to be good for is single fire weapons. So, like, your buck, you got that single fire gun, or perhaps glass even would be really good with this. And this is the reason why, because your first shot has reduced recoil. So it'll be really good for burst shotting or something like burst shotting automatic weapons, or maybe just, like Buck's gun or glass. This is going to be the weapon that you want to use, because that first shot is going to reduce that recoil. The compressor will be good for fully automatic weapons because it has a set maximum range of recoil that you are set at. So, for instance, if you're shooting at something, it can only have so much recoil. It has a certain amount of recoil that it can get to, and that's it. You will not go past a certain point. This is amazing. This is phenomenal. I'm glad that I didn't even know that both of them. I mean, I knew that the flash hinder stops you from seeing the flash, like that's what it's called, and that's its entire purpose. But I did not realize that they both improved your recoil. And before this, they both did it the same way. There was no distinguishing factors between them. Now they've done that. That is awesome. That is cool. I think this is a really good change and something that they've needed to do for a while here between these two things. The last thing that I'm going to point out, there's tons of other things. They did a lot with the maps that they talk about. I know that they fixed some glitch. The only thing that I didn't see with the maps that I was really disappointed about is I didn't see that organ roof glitch fixed, and I'm worried it's still there. I think it is. I haven't done it yet. I don't do that glitch, but I know tons of people that have done it. And I mean, I'm gonna try to test it out later today and see if I can do it. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna try to like kill people. I'm just gonna die. That's literally what I'll do. But I didn't see that in the patch notes, and that really worries me because that's one of the biggest glitches that have just popped out, and I didn't see it in the notes anywhere. Maybe I'm wrong, but I looked at those notes just like literally like a couple minutes ago, and I looked for it and I did not see it. The glitch in Canal is fixed though, where you get in that car. That was really good. That was really annoying. Some people really abused that sucker. But the last thing I want to point out is you can now break the windows in the cars. I think that this is one of the things I've wanted for a while now. I'm like, wow. And to me, this shows that Ubisoft is listening to what we're saying. A developer is doing something that the community wants. Thank you, Ubisoft. You're fixing so many things, doing a lot of good things. Just thank you guys so much. You guys are really doing a great job, and I thank you guys for what you're doing. Also, the attachments, I forgot to mention that. The attachments in the middle are now there as well, and that's just great and awesome, and that's just awesome. Thank you, Ubisoft, for listening. I think that this is great. This is the best patch we've had yet, and it's only going to get better, guys. Only going to get better. I will have my first impression video once I get the operators because I don't have the season pass. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like what you saw here, hit that like button, subscribe to me, and leave a comment below, guys. Thank you so much. Good night. Bye-bye.